Hey guys, it's Anya, otherwise known as Pink Sweets, here on YouTube, and today we are starting a new series on my channel called Shop My Stash, and it's in collaboration with my amazing friend Chip from Moment with Chip. So her channel will be linked above and it will be linked down below. I have done many collaborations with Chip already, and we were talking and we figured out that we have a lot of the same older palettes, and we both have a lot of palettes, and we wanted to kind of showcase our collection in a different way and kind of do once a week we're going to do a Shop My Stash where we pull out an older palette. Sometimes we'll use the same palette, sometimes we'll use different palettes. Eventually our same palettes are going to run out, but for starters we're starting with the same palette. So for the first one we're going to be we're going to be using the Urban Decay Spectrum palette. Mine is a mess, but this is what she looks like, and this palette came out a long time ago. This part is a mirror, and the theory was you were supposed to be able to use this as a jewelry box once you use up the palette, but yeah, that didn't happen for me because you can pull the shadow part out. And so this palette has like neutrals on the bottom, it has pinks, purples, blues, greens. So we're just going to use this palette today to create an eye look. It's going to be interesting because it's been a while since I feel like I've used a mainstream brand for my eyeshadow. I normally use like indie brands mostly only, so it should be interesting. It's been a while since I've used Urban Decay for sure. And in this series we're also allowed to use as many different older products that we have. If we have clearly I have more palettes than anything else when it comes to older makeup, but I do have some highlighters and some bronzers and foundations and stuff like that that need some love and attention, and some powders. So we're going to be using as many older products as we can, but we're focusing mainly on our palettes. So Chip has an amazing channel. She does a lot of wig reviews. She does some food testing with her husband, and she from different parts of the world, and she does a lot of amazing makeup tutorials, and she has one of the best personalities of anyone I've ever met. She's just so genuine and sweet and down to earth, and I'm so happy that I'm doing this series with her. So I love you, Chip, and I'm excited to see what you created with this palette. So I'm going to pull out one of my Jeffree Star brushes, and I have no idea what I want to do for this look. Because we can go in many different directions. I think I'm gonna start with, okay, so one thing to note is that this palette is like all shimmers, so that's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna start with the shade Bordello, which is kind of a mauvey taupey shimmer, and I'm gonna put that into my crease. And like I said, I haven't used a lot of Urban Decay or like more mainstream brands. I've used mostly like Blush Tribe, Menagerie, Glamlight, you know, just the indie brands. So I don't even really know what to fully expect from this anymore. And Urban Decay, it was really weird. They came out with two palettes at the same time within a few months of each other, and they were both called the Spectrum palette. One was called like the Full Spectrum palette, which was a full rainbow palette, and then this one was the Spectrum, so not Full Spectrum but just Spectrum. So I don't know what that was all about, but I bought both and I just had to have them. In fact, one of them I bought a backup of and then ended up not really utilizing either one of them. So, I mean, yes, this palette has been used, but I feel like virtually it's untouched, which is a shame because it's a really pretty palette. Okay, so next I'm going to go into the shade West, which is on the bottom row, but the way I'm holding it, it's going to be on the top, this darker brown. I kind of want to do, I don't know, something a little bit different than what I would normally do, because this palette has really pretty neutrals, and I feel like Urban Decay does neutrals really well. So I might add a pop of color to the lower lash line, but I wanted to see, I feel like I've had a frog in my throat for a couple days, so excuse my voice, but I wanted to see what these neutrals could do. And I also feel like that is the unexpected thing for me to do with this palette, because it does have some of my favorite shades to work with, but I feel like out of all of these shades, I feel like these are the shades that people would not expect me to necessarily reach for. So I feel like, and they are correct, so I feel like those are the shades that might not get the most love. Now I'm going to go into flashback, so I am going to add some purple to this look. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just want to work with these shades. And they are going on nicely. I don't think they are as pigmented as some of the palettes that I'm used to, but they're very pretty. And I'm really excited about this series because, so Chip and I were talking on Instagram, and she sent me video of her palette drawers and like of her older palettes, and we have a lot of the same older palettes. So I'm really excited about that because I think that it's going to be an interesting series, and you guys are going to get a lot of different looks and ideas for looks, because I'm sure that you guys have some of these palettes too. And I just never wanted to be one of those channels that only did looks with newer palettes, and like, you know, telling you guys like, oh, this is such a cool palette, you need it, and then you buy it, and then I only do one look with it and then on to the next one. So that's why we decided to start this series, because we really wanted to showcase some of the older palettes that you guys might have and that we have in our collection that we just haven't shown any love to. So now I'm going into the shade Omen, which is a duochrome. It's like a purple with like a blue shift. I actually own this shade in a single shadow as well. In like, I don't know, I had one of those Urban Decay build your own palette kind of things, and it's really pretty. And I just ended up putting that shade in there because I really liked it, but I don't think I remembered that I had it in a palette. Now I'm not using glitter glue with these because they're kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily call these like full-on shimmers. I almost feel like they're more like a satin formula than a full-on shimmer. So I don't know if glitter glue would necessarily do anything, but I just kind of wanted to see what they would do on their own. Oh no, I put my Jeffree Star brush into my dungeon of brushes and now I don't know where it is. So I'm going to go into this one instead. I'm going back into that West shade because I really want that taupey brown to be. I really, really like Urban Decay brown eyeshadows. I don't know why, because I'm not normally a brown eyeshadow person, but I feel like most of their brown eyeshadows are either bronzy brown, pinky brown, mauvey brown. Like they always have a different kind of tone to them. So I think they're really pretty. So let me clean this up. I'm going to do my base really quick off camera and I will be right back with you guys. Ooh, that didn't work. Okay, so for foundation, I used my Maybelline Dream Velvet Soft Matte Foundation. I have not used that in forever. And then for my, I don't know what I just dropped. And for my powder, I'm going to go into my Maybelline Fit Me powder. I used to use this all of the time. I love this powder. Sorry for the noise. I love this powder so much. But after I got my Jeffree Star powder, and after I got my, oh, what is it called? Flower powder from Beauty Bakery, I just kind of stopped reaching for this, but I have multiple things of it and I need to use it because it's a really good powder, and it's only $5 at most drugstores and at Walmart and stuff like that. And I feel like it really like makes my skin look flawless. So I don't know why I haven't been using it. I think I get into the habit of using whatever's in front of me. And if I put something in front of me, I had to make sure I was still recording, because earlier when I was trying to not record, when I was trying to pause, it, didn't work. So, but yeah, I get into the habit of just using whatever's in front of me. And same thing with my bronzer. Like, I was using the deeper Physicians Formula bronzer, and I still love that one as well. But this one, as you can tell, is well loved because it has a lot of pan. So for my Project Pan friends, this is for you. Look at that pan. It's amazing, right? So I was using this all the time, and then I just kind of stopped. Not because I don't love it, but just because I got other stuff. I got an Anastasia contour kit, and I got my Benefit Cheekathon or whatever it's called, and I got my Lunatic Labs Cosmetics, what is that called? Oh, the Contour Volume 1 book. And this one is a little bit lighter, which at the time that I stopped using it, I kind of needed something a little bit darker. So I think that was part of it too. And then for blush, I've been using these, but I'm going to use this today again. This is the Catrice Illuminating Blush, and this is in the shade La Vie en Rose. And I had bought a bunch of these Catrice blushes and then just didn't really use them. Probably because, I don't know, maybe I tried one and it wasn't very pigmented. Do I have a different blush? Hold on. We're going to go into a different blush because I think there's a reason I didn't use that one. So I'm going to pull out one of my oldie but goodies. This is my NYX Ombre blush, and this is in the shade Codebreaker. And these used to be my favorite blushes as well. So I pulled these out too. That Catrice one just wasn't pigmented enough for me. I like a pigmented blush. I like a lot of pigment. And then for highlighter, I'm excited because I don't even remember what this looks like. I pulled out my Wet n Wild Highlighting Gold Bar. This is in Holly Goldhead, and I literally searched the earth for this one. Like, I looked everywhere for this, and it was nowhere to be found. Like, it was sold out everywhere. I just have to make sure I get the powder out from under my eyes, otherwise I will set it into my creases. And I searched everywhere for this. This is also an oldie but goodie. I was using this Rose Facial Toner Spray from Trader Joe's, and then I just, for whatever reason, kind of stopped using it. But Wet n Wild highlighters are so good. I know there's some controversy going on right now with Wet n Wild that I also don't agree with, but I already own these things, so I want to use them. And for a drugstore highlighter, I mean, I think that this was inspired by the Charlotte Tilbury Bar of Gold, so I think that's why they made them. Now they make them in different shades as well, but It's really pretty. It's like a glow from within kind of glow. And like I said, I looked everywhere for these, and then I got them, and then I just didn't use them. I don't know why. Okay, so now we're gonna do the lower lash line. And I think for the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with, I had my liner. Okay, I had a liner, and I don't know what I did with it. Maybe this is it. I feel like I'm going crazy. I literally pulled out a liner, and I don't know what I did with it. I had pulled out a blue liner. Well, we're gonna use this one instead. This is Freak from Urban Decay, and I own pretty much the entire, well, not pretty much, I own the entire Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil collection. I bought their Volt a while ago, and I have like every color I could ever want, but for some reason I don't tend to reach for them. So I think for the lower lash line, I'm going to do the shade Junkie, which is this beautiful like deep green. I think that'll be a really pretty pop on the lower lash line. And I'm just going to kind of put it on top of that liner. It is so pretty. I could have even done an entire look with the greens in this palette. I cannot wait to see what colors Chip chooses. And that's the thing that I think is the funnest, is that you're going to be able to see older palettes, like I said, that you guys might own, that you haven't seen used in a while, and get some different ideas for looks to do with them. Some palettes you guys might be like, I've never seen that palette before. And that is probably going to be the case with a lot of them, because some of these palettes are pretty old, but I mean, not like super old, but older. And you may not have been as into makeup at the time, and some of them are going to be newer palettes, but like palettes we've only done one look with on our channel. I'm just really excited. And it was so funny when Chip sent me her video, and I was like, I have that palette, I have that palette, I have that palette. And we just seem to have the same taste in palettes that we purchased, which is really cool, because there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of weeks where we use the same palette. So, and you'll have to wait and see what palette we're going to use next week. We actually already have the next one planned out. So for my lips, I'm going to use the Jeffree Star No Tea No Shade. This is one of his liquid lipsticks that I just don't reach for as much, even though it's pretty. Oh no. Let me know if you find that after a while his liquid lipsticks kind of get clumpy. And I don't mean after a long while. I mean, some shades happen, or that happens to some shades for me fairly quickly. Okay, this is like a very vampy kind of look, but I like it. I'm going to spray my face one more time. I love this toner. It's only like $3.99. If you have a Trader Joe's near you, I highly recommend it. I also use the Trader Joe's Rose Facial Oil, and I put this on my skin and in my hair, and I love it. So, alright, so this is my finished look with the Urban Decay Spectrum palette. Let me know down below each week if you guys own the palette that we feature. Definitely go check out Chip's channel, see what look she creates with this palette. I know you guys are going to love it because she is absolutely stunning and she's so talented with makeup and she has the best personality. You guys are going to love her. So she'll be linked, like I said, in the cards, in the description box. Go check her out, subscribe, show her some love, let her know I sent you. I love you guys so, so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. And I hope that you guys are excited about this series because I know that Chip and I really are. We're really excited about using palettes that we haven't in a while. So, love you guys.